There's this whole hustle down in Calabasas for Halloween. And so they do a Christmas version of that.
Is this like kids Coachella? Like, are the kids just happy as can be?
It is exactly that. It's kids Coachella. It's all the trendy parents' kids. It's just like, it's the funniest. They're running into everybody. People I went to nightclubs with my whole life and their kids are just hanging out.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's funny how like it's the same group like has progressed.
Forever. Yeah, it's forever. Yeah. I'm sure the nursing home 40 years from now will be filled with the same people I went to. H-Wood. When I went to, Las Palmas, H-Wood.
H-Wood will open a nursing home.
That's inevitable. Like, we want a trendier nursing home.
Trendier crowd,
Plant-based.
Bottle girls giving IV drips. Sparklers. You got a B12 shot. Woo!
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey guys, welcome to group chat.
Woo-wee.
Woohoo! You got me and Dee today, just like the old days. And ever since the snowflake episode on, and I don't know, he's been gone.
I've seen some pictures of him. He's fine. Very liberal.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Well, the righties are loving it, but he'll be back soon. Don't worry. But we got a lot to talk about. We have Christmas coming up. We're going to talk about Christmas things. Dee, unlike me, Dee has children and he has a family here that is gearing up for Christmas. And I want to know about it. I want to know what it's like. I want to know what they're doing to prepare. So he's going to tell me all about it. One of the biggest sporting events of the entire year just happened, and I missed it.
Because you were watching a 12-year-old
watching a fucking 13-year-old play golf.
It sucks.
So that happened. So we're going to talk about that as well. And then we got a lot of news. We got Twitter news, of course. We got stuff going on with Salesforce staff and working remote, and that, maybe this working remote thing just isn't going to work. There is a number of packages that were stolen off of people's porches this year that will blow your mind.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. We're going to talk about it.
By the way, it should encourage you. If you want to steal a package, go for it.
If you want to start a business to stop getting packages stolen, go for it. Or if you just want to say, fuck it, you can't beat them, join them and go steal some packages, go for it. Turns out, not that big of a deal. And whatever, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about this Donald Trump NFT. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe we need to correct ourselves, or maybe not. But we should talk about it. And we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Hey, Dee.
Hey.
Welcome to the countdown to Christmas group chat. How's it looking in your house? Are the kids ready for Santa? Do they believe in Santa? Are there trees up? What's going on?
We had tree up in like October.
Oh my gosh, you're one of those.
Yeah, I mean...
What about lights? Like if I drove past your house, would you look festive or no?
No, we didn't do the lights outside. We actually went bigger for Halloween on the outside of the house. Mm-hmm. Inside the house, though, is Christmas tree, lights, train around the Christmas tree.
Wow.
Fucking, yeah, it is every night, Christmas PJs for the kids, Christmas music everywhere. We get in the car, Christmas music in the house. I literally,
so they love it.
Oh my God. Santa's a scam. Santa was created by Macy's.
Do they think Santa's real?
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
I think Dominic, I think he wants to believe it because he really likes Christmas. Yeah. The youngest obviously has no idea what's going on. Yeah. But Dominic definitely he's still Santa this, Santa that, but he's definitely starting to question certain things. He's like, how is Santa getting from here to there to there to there?
Yeah, once you start to understand logistics, it gets rough.
Yeah, you're just like, it doesn't make sense.
He's like,
how's this guy everywhere?
Yeah, I get it.
He'll be like, Santa only comes to the Grove? And I was like...
That's a valid question. That's a valid complaint, actually. What do you do, any, go to those neighborhoods where there's all the Christmas lights or any of that?
Funny you say that. So on our street, a handful of houses. And then I went on the other night, just like on a weeknight, like 6 o'clock, or like, oh, let's see Christmas lights. There's nowhere really in our part of town, West Hollywood, that has like proper Christmas lights. Yeah. You can go to Rodeo. There's people, obviously you drive the street. It's nice. There's a handful of houses, Hancock Park. But I remember I was telling you there was like this whole crazy
racket, right?
Yeah, well, there's this whole hustle down in Calabasas where for Halloween, it was like...
That's what it was.
And so they do a Christmas version of that.
Yep.
That was actually worth it. It was unbelievable. We went Saturday night, us and another family. We got there at 5 p.m. It's called Holiday Road. It's expensive. At least I think it's expensive.
Yeah.
If you,
how much per person?
So if you want a regular ticket, it's $45 a person.
Okay.
If you want VIP, it's $65 a person, and you get like preferential VIP parking. And we did that for Halloween. We got the VIP, and it didn't feel VIP at all. I was just like, dude, we got ripped off. This sucks.
Yeah.
For Christmas, she was like, my wife was like, what should we do? And I was like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? I have a feeling this is like the week before Christmas. The VIP actually might come in handy. So we get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoo. The place a fucking zoo.
Can you explain to me what it is? Like,
so I'll tell you, it's basically off Las Virgenes exit and off the 101. It's a huge field. You pull up, parking crazy, and you park your car. And once you walk in, you show your ticket. There's call it a dozen food trucks on each side, and a Santa's workshop, which is basically toys you buy for your kids, like lightsabers and balloons and whatever Santa crap. There's a Santa Claus sitting on the corner, and then once you get past the food trucks, there's like all these picture ops like Rudolph and Santas and Grinch and sleighs. Then genius, they have a full bar.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Parents are just getting lit up driving into the canyon there.
Yeah. Seriously. Do you know how many wasted parents weave through the canyon?
And then you walk into this like winter wonderland, and it is insane lights. Like,
got it.
It's basically like, call it a 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk max. But you walk through and the lights are crazy. So if you live in like a place like LA where there's like there's like one street in near where I grew up that had really nice lights. Another street in Woodland Hills called Candy Cane Lane that has insane lights. But for the most part, like, you don't see people like doing lights like that. Yeah. So you go there, you see the lights, you get some hot cocoa. It's like a bunch of kids with RSV running around, and
just RSV everywhere. And
the cops
to the kids,
crazy.
Is this like kids Coachella? Like, are the kids just happy as can be?
It is exactly that. It's kids Coachella. It's all the trendy parents' kids. It's just like, it's the funniest. You're running into everybody. Like,
that's amazing.
Like, people I went to nightclubs with my whole life, and their kids are just hanging out.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's funny how like it's the same group like has progressed.
Forever. Yeah, it's forever. Yeah. It's like, like, I'm sure the nursing home 40 years from now will be filled with the same people I went to.
H-Wood.
When I went to, Las Palmas, H-Wood.
H-Wood will open a nursing home.
Yeah, I mean, that's inevitable. Like, we want a trendier nursing home.
Trendier crowd, yeah.
Plant-based, just like...
Bottle girls giving IV drips. Sparklers. You got a B12 shot. Woo!
Trendy funerals.
Let's hear it. Oh, yeah, trendy funerals. That'd be a good business, actually.
I mean, I get served a casket ad all the time. That's kind of sketch.
On what?
Titan caskets.
On Instagram? Funeral.
Book your casket.
Jesus Christ. What are you liking?
I don't know.
What's on your algorithm?
It's a lot of elderly, I guess.
Oh my God. Yeah, they can just tell your interests are getting older.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know how many years this guy's got.
Man, who knows? I don't know. It could be 42. It could be 68. That's great. That's good to know, because the one thing that I'll say is I've always been, look, I'm not a big Christmas guy. I think it's because Christmas was always like in the dead of winter, and like in Ohio, and meaning like the dead of ice cold, the dead of snow. And like, I was like obsessed with skateboarding. Winter meant like not good skateboarding. I don't know why, but winter sort of feels like you're in like the dead center of winter. And I mean, I guess because you are, but I will say, a lot of the years of my childhood, it snowed. There's like, a Santa that would like ride around being pulled by a freaking SUV that would like drop off presents to people's houses. Like it felt a little more Christmassy. Like I had so many childhoods where it was like snowy and felt like Christmas. And I always felt like here, it doesn't really feel like that. So I guess I'm wrong. Like if you're a kid and you don't know any difference, you go to Winter Wonderland out off Las Virgenes and you get the whole experience. Yeah.
And I was talking to someone who was saying that they're going to London next week. London, New York. I was speaking with Risa. Risa took her daughter to New York. New York, which I was in a week or two ago. You feel the Christmas especially when you walk around Rockefeller Center, and
there's people ice skating, and it's just
it's cold. It was cold as shit last night. I was wearing like this fucking winter Canada Goose jacket. We had hand warmers on. Like out there, it's cold. Yeah. But I get it. Like if your kids are into Christmas, it's nice to go to a town that actually represents that.
Yeah.
I mean, just judging by the number of people that went to this holiday road thing and the number of people I saw from, kind of center city.
Yeah.
Christmas is underserved in LA.
I'm sure it is.
You could do a whole baby Jesus Christmas setup, dead center somewhere, charge $50, put a little boozy eggnog, Santa. I don't know if you saw, I don't know. Have you been to the Grove at all during Christmas? Okay.
No.
By the way, I just drove by Fairfax. Bananas crowded. And
really,
the Santa, they have like the prices for the pictures.
Yeah.
It's printing like $100-something for like a few pictures.
Oh my God. I think it's underserved. I think you're right. I think somebody could really put together like a real event. Like it sounds like the one you went to is pretty damn real, but like, maybe something a little closer, something even more extravagant. And I bet you would be jam packed.
I think you could do high-end Christmas in LA with basically unlimited demand, because it's like Disneyland. Christmas is Disneyland for kids. And if your kids love Christmas, which is basically every kid.
Yeah.
The way the parents are spending money, like, okay, look, you spend all this money on the ticket, parking, then you have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You're having hot cocoa. Then mom and dad need a couple cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
And then you need the toys. And then, when it's all said and done, you're spending like $500.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. And when you think of how many U's there are there, that's a lot. I bet you could do it. You could market that thing on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
It could be huge.
I mean, this thing was bananas. We left at 7:00, which is obviously probably prime time.
Yeah.
The line to park was insane.
Oh my God. Okay, well, that's good. Well, I think that I'm guessing that probably the most fun time for Christmas in your life is either when you're a kid that's like super excited and you wake up early and, oh my God, what did Santa bring? Or when you're a parent with kids of that age. Like it has to be the most entertaining.
But those like 28-year-olds that just go to Disneyland cuz?
Yeah.
Those 28-year-olds were at the Christmas shit too.
Just no kids, just soaking up fucking Santa. But that can't be as fun as...
I saw people in line to take pictures with Santa with no kids. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
They're just waiting for an event to go to.
I know, but why they stand in line with Santa?
Because it's for, for Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
I'll tell you, my parents every year have had the same Santa. My parents are photographers that do like, this, but for the listener, like senior portraits and stuff like that. And they've done Santa pictures for the last, I don't know, probably decade or more with the same Santa. He's an incredible Santa, top-notch Santa. This guy looks like the real guy.
The best Santa in the world.
Best Santa, huge beard. And I think it's
huge
by far
huge.
I think it's by far their most successful or like busy thing is just pictures with Santa.
I think you could triple the price with Santa.
I agree.
I think Santa's price elasticity is unlimited.
I agree.
There's something
in the world
about
of content.
Yeah.
And also, if I was an old man that looked like Santa, I would say, hey, I'm whatever my rate is, I'm $1,000 a day. And for the month of December, I will be in your TikTok. You can hire me.
Yeah.
We can do TikToks. We can do skits. We can do pranks. I have the outfit. And just, in a world of content where every one of these guys and girls that you're talking about that were waiting in line for Santa, the ones without kids, they just want the hot pic for Instagram.
I don't know. I think they actually just fucking like Santa, dude. I don't think these people didn't look like they cared about their Instagram. I actually just think they're like, yo, I got to get that pic with Santa for like my personal.
I'm telling you, I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think Christmas in the big cities is extremely underserved. I'm sure you leave LA, New York, San Francisco, whatever. I'm sure Santa it's Santa everywhere. But I feel like you could just have Santas everywhere in LA and have this like high end experience that families would just pay. We're not getting enough of him.
I feel like if I had a retail store, like every retail store should have a Santa.
Yeah.
Just to get foot traffic. Wasn't there kind of wasn't Santa and like Christmas kind of out? Like, wasn't that like a right versus left thing? Wasn't Trump big on people don't say Merry Christmas anymore?
Yeah, I think I think generally speaking, you're hearing a lot more happy holidays. What's interesting is
but maybe that was wrong is what I'm getting at.
Most of my friends are not, Christian, Catholic. Most of my friends are like Jews and Indians.
Yeah.
And at the Santa thing, all I ran into were Jews and Indians.
Yeah, I doubt it was a bunch of Christians at that thing. That's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe we might have overshot the mark in these liberal cities of like, oh, Christmas is like a Christian thing. People don't really care. It sounds like they do care.
No, I think everyone cares. Santa's
doesn't matter the religion. Santa, it's just Santa, the character.
It's marketing. It's just it's fun. Like the snow and the fucking reindeers and Rudolph.
Yeah. It's fun. Okay. Well, there's a business opportunity, listeners. Someone make the fucking Coachella of Christmas at the Coliseum. Okay. Big day. Speaking of sporting events or venues, World Cup. I admit I fucked up on this one.
You didn't watch?
No.
Oh my God.
And I fucked up. Because I was so Mr. like, oh, I'm happy for you soccer people on Friday when I gave them the winner of the week. And I was so like, look, I gave it a try. Soccer's just not for me. And so what happened was I tuned so far out of it that I didn't realize today was like the final. Of course I would have watched it. And then of course it's like the most riveting game ever. And I missed it.
I am, long time sports fanatic. And I'm not, I'm not too informed when it comes to soccer.
Yeah.
I watched a handful of games. I watched all the USA games. I watched some of these other big games and they were fun, entertaining, whatever. I had turned it on. My oldest was up. He started watching with me, cooked them breakfast during halftime, went back and sat down. I mean, one of the greatest sporting events I've ever seen in my life. And I think when I think about it, the thing that excited me most about the sporting event, in many sporting events, not all, the biggest stars never show up. Like, we always have this magical moment that like, you know, our favorite player that we grew up watching is like the hero.
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, it's Ray Allen hit the shot. You know what I mean? Like it's like the guy that you wanted to hit the shot didn't hit the shot.
You rarely get that moment.
The two best players on the field, or whatever it's called, the pitch.
Yeah.
Messi and Mbappe literally just scored every fucking goal. It was insane. Like Mbappe scored 3 goals in the regular whatever time, and then he scored the first one in penalty kicks. Messi scored 2 goals and an assist and scored in the penalty kicks. And basically it was like the most epic, like titans of sport. Like I guess if you're a soccer fan, you wanted Messi to win your whole life. He won. And then this other kid, this 23-year-old kid, this is so funny. We're watching the game. My wife's sitting in the playroom behind us, watching the game. And Mbappe scores 1 goal. Then he scores the next goal like a minute later. Like, yeah! And she's like, you rooting for France now? I'm like, yeah, my man's hot. I'm done with Argentina. Fuck these guys.
You started with Messi and then you hopped over real quick?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, our friends are Argentinian. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to root for them. And then this kid got hot. And I was like, Viva la France.
And so was it 3-3 and then it came down to a shootout? Or
yeah, 3-3. Then it goes to overtime.
Gosh, so much scoring. That's why I stopped watching, because it would always be like 1-0 and 3-3.
The second half was so epic. Just seeing this guy score 3 goals was insane.
I blew it.
You blew it. It was definitely one of the most exciting kind of sporting events. The big highlights are this. Elon and Jared Kushner were there.
Together.
Yep. Fascinating. I have so many questions there.
Yeah, so many.
And I'll say, you know, Argentina is the winner of the World Cup. The biggest winner of World Cup is 100% the Middle East.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that visited the Middle East for the first time in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I saw something on the information that said Qatar wasted $300 billion on getting the World Cup. I don't think they did. I think it was like a cultural shift. Like all of a sudden, the Middle East became a place to visit.
Yeah.
Like how many people did we see post at some place in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, in Doha, at the World Cup, whatever. And it was like, you know, even I saw Gilly posting Argentina because he's fake Argentinian. You know, he went out there to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he, you know, he went to the Middle East. He's Israeli.
Yeah.
He went to Doha. Israeli guy went to Doha.
Like even with like their crazy, you know, rules and like, you know, there's rumors that they killed a guy and like it's just crazy to me also, like the power of sport. Like that to me is what's, from my perspective, that's what's so insane is like.
Yeah, that's a great point because I actually was thinking about that. Like everyone in the stands, Argentinians, and I'm sure in Argentina, they were crying. They were so overjoyed. And I was trying to think like, what are things that bring that kind of emotion to a mass group of people?
Yeah.
And I think it's only sports.
It's only sports.
Does music do that? Like, I used to see, I remember in the 80s watching Michael Jackson concerts and people cry.
Here's a question. Is there any, this would be my experiment, is there any music festival at all, no rules, that you could throw that would have that many people go to the Middle East for the first time? I don't think so.
No.
There's
not
nothing.
A music festival.
And then when you think about like, there are videos of like the streets of Argentina, like when a
flooded.
goal gets scored and like you can't even see people, you just hear it erupt, and like people from their houses and people from like there's just nothing. Then they're already showing you saw that drone shot.
Oh yeah, of Argentina, of Buenos
Aires, I think. Yeah. And like it's just nuts. There's no music couldn't do that, and I don't think there's even any. I don't know. I mean, religion would be the other thing, but I don't think it's the same. Like,
oh shit, Christ is back.
Yeah, like you couldn't do like the Return of Jesus
Resurrection
festival. Yeah, fucking your Christmas thing in Qatar and have people show up. I think sport is the only thing.
I agree. I think something about sports has such like a. I think it also is because it's kind of like barbaric, right? In the rawest form, it's like
simulated war, kind of.
Yeah, like these people just go out on a field and the best
one
country wins,
smashing another. Yeah, fuck you, France.
France versus Argentina, and in soccer, that's like all like soccer royalty.
Yeah.
The stars, it's like Messi, the legend versus Mbappe, the future of the sport. Like I don't know, it was awesome. I had a great time watching it. I'm definitely getting a Mbappe jersey. He's dope.
But now he's a loser.
He's 23 though. He's gonna win.
Save it for next year though.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like calendar year because you got a week. I mean like just let it wear. Like maybe grab a Messi jersey, wear it for the next 3 months, and then
get on that train for a minute.
Yeah. You want to know what I was watching instead, which is silly. I'm not even going to act like this was better. Is fucking this PNC, whatever the fuck it is, where the father and son, Tiger and his kid were playing.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was watching, and they lost. They got smoked.
You're full alt-right, huh?
I guess so, man. I'm
not watching these non-English speaking countries.
Get out there in the country club. Yeah, I didn't even know, man, and I was watching fucking Tiger and his son.
You're watching Charlie Woods? Is that his name?
Yeah, it is. And they choked too.
And how old is he? 12?
13. Yeah. And they choked. He rolled his little ankle and he was just fucking limping around. So they're both limping around. They fucking got smoked.
They lost?
They lost.
Who did they lose to?
They didn't they had a chance to win, obviously like they didn't lose. There was probably who knows how many people playing, but they had a chance to be first. And then they just fell apart and they probably got like 6 or something. I didn't even watch the end.
Who did they play?
They played all these other, so it's like a bunch of PGA pros and their kids or dads. So as I understand it, you can play with your dad or you can play with your kid. Or there was like a woman. I don't know whether the woman was the pro and the dad was the bring along, or the dad was an old pro and the woman. I don't know, but it's not just men. But yeah. So it was one pro named Justin Thomas and his dad were partnered with Tiger and his son.
Wow.
But yeah, the Singh family won. Yeah, SINGH Sings. They won first place. Almost John Daly. But anyway, whatever. I fucking blew it. Okay, I chose the wrong thing. I tuned out of soccer and I messed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Twitter. You want to talk about Twitter?
Yeah.
How can you not, right?
Biggest news.
So Twitter's just, I mean, I don't even remember now, like when we last talked about it or whatever, but it's just, I mean, every day is just absolute fireworks. Now Taylor Lorenz is suspended, which is incredible.
She's back.
Oh, she's back already?
Yeah.
Okay, so, on Thursday, all these journalists got banned late at night. There was this huge uproar. There was Twitter spaces going on live. Elon was jumping in them. It was just, oh my gosh, the world is ending. Journalists are getting suspended. Just madness. There's Twitter files, the next version where the FBI is directing or was directing Twitter on who to ban and who to block. I mean, there's just fucking madness. But apparently the newest thing is that Twitter is saying you can no longer, I don't understand the rules exactly, but there's this fuzzy sort of free promotion of other social media platforms on Twitter is no longer allowed and can result in a suspension or a ban. Do you understand the rules?
Yeah, so that's what Taylor Lorenz got banned for. Was she basically said, "Hey, if please follow me on all these other platforms." He doesn't want anyone to assume they're getting banned, I assume, and then drive traffic off the platform.
Yep.
That is not normal internet behavior. So
it's also not free speech.
Yeah, and I think he blew it on that, and he's letting everyone he banned off. Yeah. So we'll see. Like Taylor Lorenz is back. A few of the other journalists are back. So we'll see how it done. I think the big news of the night is he posted 4 hours ago. This is Sunday night. Should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll.
I saw that. And right now it's saying yes, right?
I voted yes.
I think I voted no, just for entertainment.
No, I mean, like, I actually think...
It's better for our entertainment.
Yeah, and I actually don't think he's the right person to run Twitter.
Yeah.
I think he's... And by the way, I like Elon Musk. I have no problem, like, with him, but I don't think he's the right person to run this platform.
I agree.
And I think he's a little bit reckless in his decision-making. So if he's willing to put it to a vote, then I think 10 million people have voted. There's 7 hours left. So if you feel strongly about this, go vote.
And he's been abiding by the polls 100%. Yeah. I mean, he said when he blocked all the journalists, he's like, should I let them back on right away or should I make them wait their 7 days? And everyone said right now, and he did it.
And then he said, going forward, there will be a vote for major policy changes. My apologies won't happen again. So I think he is being receptive to all the backlash that he's getting.
Yeah.
I hope. And genuinely speaking, most people have let me down when I've given them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not like my,
personal
people in real life, but like people, athletes or presidents or whatever. Most people have let me down in what I hope would be their actual kind of outcome.
Yeah.
I think and I hope Elon will step down. A new head of Twitter will be put in place. He steps out of the limelight of Twitter and he just focuses on changing the world like he was doing before.
Yeah.
On the Twitter stuff though, it's a huge opportunity still. He's indicated in his tweets that like it's on its way to bankruptcy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of fucking crazy because he just spent $44 billion.
That's absurd.
It's absurd. It's literally like, for him, it's a simulation. It's a game.
Yeah.
And I think he went to Qatar to like kiss the ring. Let me get some.
Let me tap into the unlimited.
Yeah. And Jared Kushner is close with MBS. So my guess is...
That's a really good prediction. I like that.
I think Elon went there and he said, dude, for Saudi Arabia or any of these people to give him $10-20 billion.
Yeah, nothing.
It's fucking nothing. It's
plus to have like the potential, like with all this shit going on with the FBI and the manipulation of Twitter, like Twitter is obviously an incredibly important device to have some sway over. And I just think if you're MBS and you can spend $10 billion and maybe have a little sway over what happens, the next time some journalist stories come around, it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. So I think because on Friday there was a rumor that his team was sending out prospectus on investing at Twitter at the valuation that he bought it at.
Yeah.
So clearly he needs cash. Also, rumor he sold another $3-4 billion of Tesla stock. Tesla stock is now at like a 2-year low.
Yeah.
All of this is happening real time. His team is probably giving him good advice and being like, either you have to change the trajectory of your involvement of Twitter, sell more Tesla stock, which I mean, knowing the potential of that company, why the fuck would you sell Tesla stock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead, go kiss the ring. Go kiss MBS's ass. Let him plow in 10, 20 billion dollars into Twitter.
Yeah.
Does he really care how much it fucking loses? No. Give him some Tesla stock. Give him some access to SpaceX, Boring Company, Neuralink, whatever. The Middle East is hot.
You do a couple of SpaceX launches from the Middle East.
Yeah.
There's a lot to bargain on here.
You know, if MBS wants to go to Mars, send him to Mars. Whatever.
Mars, wherever he wants to go, send him.
Yeah, I just think strategically a good move to be there. Because I
agree.
And I know in this country is a very polarizing figure. I guarantee you everywhere else in the world, he is not.
No.
He's beloved.
No. Especially, for what he's doing, 100%.
I met an African guy today at one of the kids' birthday parties, and he loved Kanye. Like he had nothing negative. He brought it up to me.
Yeah, it's weird.
And he just started talking about it. And so I think when you think about the rest of the world, and then you think about what we believe, it's very different. And what's interesting, there was one of our clips on TikToks. Everyone's like, "Oh, you guys don't know. You guys are talking. You're a bubble. You don't know what you're talking about." The whole premise of this podcast is a perspective from our bubble. Yeah. We are not trying to represent the country.
Yeah, or be the smartest guy.
We're not running for president, so we don't give a fuck what the rest of the country thinks. We're not trying to empathize with the rest of the country. In fact, we're trying to tell you exactly what in our bubble what's happening.
Yeah. And what was the thing? Was it the Donald Trump thing that
I think it was about the left and the right, and everyone's like, "Oh, you guys are such a bubble," and I 100%, we are in a bubble. We're in the biggest bubble. We're the best bubble. Number one bubble in the world.
Number one
huge
bubble. That's true. Yeah. Huge. Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, I have a million questions about the trip to the World Cup, but you want to know what continues to blow my mind is like there's days when I'm, busy and whatever, or stressed, or maybe just worn out from work. And someone might invite me to a thing, maybe Gilly invites us to a nice Revolve event or something. And I just am like, man, I'd love to go. Too much going on right now. Can't make it. And this motherfucker with literally the most stressful job set of jobs in the world, it finds time to fly over there. I mean, if your point is right, then it makes sense because it's work. But to go over there and sit and be filming videos and watching the fucking World Cup, it blows my mind like that he wouldn't just rather spend that time catching a nap. Unless he's working, which is probably the case.
I think in the case of the World Cup, look, from a public standpoint, outside of Messi and Mbappe, the thing that I saw the most was a picture of Elon and Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
And if I'm, the king of some country in the Middle East, that looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The white Americans are here.
Yeah.
I'm talking like bare optics. It looks good. Yeah. Like, I think it served its purpose. I don't know. By the way, I did stop by the Revolve thing. Fantastic.
Was it? It looked great. It looked incredible. Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about like all this stuff we're talking about. They're kind of doing that. Like they're leaning into the whole holiday thing.
They did it.
Smart.
I mean, so if you're like a 20-something-year-old and you went to the Revolve thing, like, yeah, you're right. They actually did it.
Santa?
It was such a, I'm sure there was. It was very crowded. Yeah. Epic Christmas tree, snow, choir, hot cocoa.
Oh, yeah. Just give them like 2 more years and that thing will be exactly what we were just talking about 30 minutes.
Yeah. I just think they should charge. I just think, look, they were targeting their demo, which is 20 to 30-something-year-old women. So it was set up for them. I think you could easily do something, for kids.
But think about all the posts they're getting, and like they're.
Yeah, it was epic. It was epic.
They don't need.
They
to
actually
charge.
did it. You're right.
They're making their money, but that's like they could. They're just smart. I mean, I'm sure their impressions from that thing were fucking insane, and it's so much better than.
It's funny. Like it took me like 20 minutes to walk out of the Revolve event because everyone was taking pictures, and I didn't want to be the person just like walking through everyone's pictures. Yeah. So I literally walked 3 feet, stopped. Walked 3 feet, stopped, just so I wouldn't get in front of people's pictures.
That's better than, I bet each one of those is way better than the $45.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, they'll have it figured out then. So never mind. Our ideas, guys, if you were started this episode working on that Christmas idea, don't worry about it. Revolve's got it covered. Okay, Mark Benioff over at Salesforce is, there's all these stories that we're going to have a lot of these stories, unfortunately, over the next, year, or at least at best, I would say the first half of next year. Layoffs, things like that, people cracking down on their staff and whatever. But Mark Benioff over at Salesforce apparently sent out a Slack message that the company, he's seeing lower productivity from new employees. So essentially, it sounds like what I'm gathering is he was saying like, hey guys, I don't know whether our company culture isn't sticking. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not happy with the productivity of the new employees. That has to change, or else there's going to be consequences.
Yeah, I think it caused a big stir amongst the organization.
What's the stir? I saw it cause a stir, but I didn't read the stir. Is the stir like this isn't fair?
I think it went public.
Yeah,
it went to Twitter and went to the press. It started picking up steam outside of Salesforce, and I'm sure there's people inside of Salesforce that feel that like that's accurate or that's inaccurate. Like I'm sure there's strong feelings on both sides. But I think then the public got involved. The public thought that was unfair, that Mark Benioff was being unfair.
But am I missing something?
Yeah, but I think if you talk to the average Salesforce employee, it's a humongous company.
Yeah.
They have to believe the same thing. Like there's nobody that works from home that is building something that's special. I'm sorry. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You're just not. Like, I think you can be hired by a company to work from home. If you're at a very large company that has systems and processes in place, great. If you're at a startup and you work from home and you have never met your team and you're not spending any time physically with your team, it's really, really hard. I'm not saying you can't be hybrid. I actually believe hybrid can work for certain positions. Like I think there are positions across the, company org that like make sense. Like I think finance could be a hybrid. I think, certain processes, technology could be a hybrid. All of those things, I believe in that. But fundamentally, like when you're building something and you're small, and small meaning under 100 employees, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
If people don't know what they're doing, they're like, and they don't know each other and they don't have the culture and they don't have the energy. I'm sorry, water cooler talk fucking matters.
Yeah, I agree. But what is like, okay, this is the part that I'm trying to wrap my head around is it feels to me like this is my forecast. I think we're about to enter 6 months at least, maybe the entire next year. And unfortunately, maybe longer of like a lot of tough news and tough decisions from business leaders, layoffs, emails like this, things like this. And then a lot of what feels, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but what feels like entitled employees that maybe don't know tough times and have only known good times and have only known benefits and kombucha and all this stuff, being completely outraged at like, how could you do this to us? Like I saw a video of some of the Washington Post like layoff announcement, and people were like screaming at the guy, like, what are you going to do about job security? What are you going to, it's just like, I don't know. That's just what it feels like. So is that what's happening here, or am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is that, but ultimately, I think in the case of what Benioff is saying is that like his newer employees are facing lower productivity because they've never been a part of the Salesforce culture. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've worked with Salesforce. They're like a happy hour, like, meet in person type culture. And if you're not part of that, it's very different. It's a sales organization at the end of the day. And like, I think like he's their business is not growing like they want it to. So they're trying to figure out why.
Yeah. This
could be one thing. It could be their product. It could be a number of things, but you have to question everything when your business is struggling. And I think he's just in the crosshairs of that and he's trying to figure it out. And I think the problem is that like we're struggling as a corporate culture. Is it worth spending the money on an office space to bring people back? Because people, to be fair, corporate America loves not paying for office space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, we're seeing decline in productivity. I don't know.
It's fucked. True. And I guess just, for the listeners' clarity, you and I are kind of talking about two different things. Like you're more talking about the actual article, which is that kind of the note, I just don't know if we made clear, is that most of these new employees are working remote. And Salesforce has allowed people to work remote. And so there's this challenge of like, hey, we've tried it. We've tried to let it go, but we're not seeing the same productivity from the people who don't know our culture. My point was more the backlash about it. Like, what's the, okay, if a guy says our staff working remote is not productive enough, I'm going to fire them. I'm going to whatever them. I'm going to like, I don't see what there is to be outraged about. That's his observation. That's how he's going to run his business. Yeah. I just feel like we're kind of in for it. When I see the way people are reacting to Washington Post, when I see the way people are reacting, obviously at Twitter, it just seems like we're in for a lot of people to be really, really upset with like the harsh reality of what we are probably facing.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
Huh. Okay. Let's talk about this. We talked a lot about, crime. Obviously, we've talked about crime a lot on this podcast. We talked about how much merchandise was stolen from like places like Target and Walmart. Now that we're kind of getting to the end of the year, they're kind of accounting for how much profit was lost with stolen merchandise. Here's another interesting one. About 260 million packages in the last year have been stolen from people's porches.
That value is estimated at $20 billion. $20 billion.
Is this real? I feel like I'm reading this wrong. 260 million packages? That's like can you think of what size business would send out 200? Is this real?
I mean, this is America.
Oh,
we steal your packages.
Gosh. Online sales. I mean, that is a mind-blowing.
$20 billion just stolen off the porch.
I heard your ring go off earlier. Is that why you don't want to be you don't want to be a statistic?
I mean, I actually think here's a business idea. Why not Amazon, or fuck it, everyone who delivers shit, let's create a bin that the problem is I'm trying to think of like, how do you create a bin that delivery people have access to? Because it's not the same Amazon, UPS, and FedEx driver every day. Like, it's not like you could give them the,
Well, couldn't it just be on the couldn't it generate? No. Okay, couldn't on your
what's the business here? Because like it needs to be a
your
bin.
Address. Couldn't you plug in like Dee Murthy 1526 blah 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 street number 1280 is your bin number, your bin code, and it's on your slip.
And the delivery guy knows the slip. He has to punch it in to deliver it.
Yeah, it's an added line on your address when you plug it into FedEx or anywhere else. And then these bins are on everyone's thing, and you know that that's the bin number. Instead of an apartment number, you have a bin number.
$20 billion is bigger than like most industries. And this is just what's stolen of porches.
I mean, there's 331 million people that live in the United States. So
everyone's getting a package stolen here. There's babies that wake up, boom, package stolen.
Mind blown? Is this not absurd?
It's absurd. People are just walking around stealing all day.
Let's invent the bin.
You wake up, you steal.
I mean, if I knew, you must just be able to walk around a neighborhood and yank packages off porches. The amount of volume here is wild. There must be people just literally just driving down street.
I'm going to Beverly Hills next week, stealing everyone my family Christmas packages.
I mean, you might as well. You probably get some great stuff. It wouldn't even put a dent in this thing.
Nothing. If I stole 30 packages, what does it matter?
Yeah, I can't believe at this number and this volume, I just can't believe that there's not a, like, here's my question. Anything that there's a market for, I want to say this right. Usually when there's such an obvious market for something, it gets solved relatively quickly. Usually like either legally or a business is created to solve the problem. How come nobody is addressing this? I haven't heard any other than Ring cameras.
A year ago, it was estimated 210 million packages were stolen. This year, it's 260 million.
We were breaking records. And it was a slow year for e-com.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Top 10 U.S. metros for porch pirates. San Francisco, Seattle, Tacoma, Austin, Hartford, Connecticut, Sacramento. L.A. was 6. Portland, Fresno, Milwaukee, New Orleans. If you live in any of those cities, steal a package.
Yeah, you're just a drop in the bucket.
No one will know you even did it.
Well, there's another business opportunity, listeners. I just can't believe that. I mean, maybe there's a reason. No, I just can't believe that, like Amazon, for instance, even though you couldn't do it for every fulfillment, like Amazon hasn't created this. And then now at least your Amazon packages are safer because Amazon has this system and your bin code is saved in your Amazon account.
It's absolutely bananas.
Okay. Well, hey, if it's a tough Christmas, get out there and steal somebody else's.
The Grinch. The Grinch could be like a whole, like, I'm raising a seed round for the Grinch. Grinch.com. We just steal whatever we can and we sell it.
It turns out there's a lot of underserved business in being the Grinch and Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Both.
Give the gifts and steal them.
Yeah. There's a lot of benefit here. Okay, this is a really fun one. So we talked about travel. We talked about how a lot of people are really like, naming travel as one of their big things for next year of what they're going to be doing, what they're going to be spending money on. Especially wealthier people are traveling more and more. This is really interesting. There is some people out there who have submitted and said they will never travel again. We plan to never travel again. So 15% of South Korean people and 14% of Chinese people, meaning people in those countries, have said we're not interested. We will never.
14% of Americans also said they would never travel again.
Oh, that's a lot. 11% of Mexican respondents. Okay, so there's a lot of people. Wow, Japan is 35?
Japan, 35% of people would never travel again.
This is interesting. It's funny because like you just hear, I don't know, you just think kind of everyone wants to travel. Maybe people don't have the time or the means, more and more people are traveling. And then you just see this group. I mean, 35% of Japanese people just say no thanks, no interest.
It's also old country. So it could be just age.
Does this follow the age? Does like this chart here follow the age?
It could be. Japan's a very old country.
Well, get out there and travel, guys. I mean, this is just...
Go to Japan, because no one's living there.
No, it's full. They're all there. They're all home. Oh, my God. Okay, here's another one.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Go for it. No, I'm done.
Here's another one. We do always admit when we're wrong. That's one thing that's different from us and the mainstream media. But I don't know if we're wrong here. Like, I want to go ahead and admit if we're wrong, but I don't know if we're wrong. So, Donald Trump launched his NFT collection. We joked and sort of clowned it, saying too late, just silly and weird, and the time has passed. Turns out the entire collection sold out in like 12 hours. It made money. I forget how much. You might know off the top of your head. Dee, was it like $6?
I think $4.5 million.
Okay, there you go. Now, the reason why I just want to make sure we deserve to take this L is like, yeah, it's sold out. I mean, the guy's one of the most famous, for good or for bad, people in the world. I think if he would have done this a year ago, it would have made like $50 million. So just the fact that it sold out doesn't seem that shocking to me. It's more about like what the demand is and what the price was. But what do you think? Were we wrong?
I think we were wrong in the sense that can't believe it sold out.
How many pieces were there? There was a lot, right?
45,000.
45,000
NFTs all sold out.
I can't believe 45,000 Trump fans know what an NFT is.
It's funny as I saw this guy tweet, my dad just bought his first NFT because he loves Trump so much.
That's amazing. That's so good. How many dads went to their kids last week like, son, can you tell me about those nifties you've been trading?
So 35% are unique owners. Okay. So take that, what that is. The floor is now 0.34 NFT ETH, which is what, like $400? Yep, $450, which is pretty high because it was for $100.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I don't know if a Trump
is
NFT
it all fraud and just like
maybe. But at this price. It's just, look, I'm not trying to hate here. I mean, the guy sold out of 45,000 things. That's awesome for them. But it's just going from $100 to $400 isn't, it's not like what we were hearing about last year.
Yeah, but it's still surprising.
And he did still sell 45,000 items of something that, I mean, you can't wear it or. I just can't believe this many.
No, it's unbelievable.
Do you think that if you had to guess, is the majority of this people that see an opportunity to buy and flip, or are they actual Trump fans?
I think it's actual Trump fans that believe there's an opportunity to flip. And I think I would say, let's say that's like 30 to 40%. And the other is just like, this might be fun.
Yeah.
It's $100. Fuck it.
I agree. Okay. All right. Well, congrats. So we were kind of wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm impressed that he sold 45,000 at $100 a piece. That's impressive.
Okay. Last but not least, question for you. When's the last time you've been to San Bernardino?
Never.
Okay, never. Have you really never been there?
No, I've honestly probably been there. San Bernardino. Hold on. Let me see where our new warehouse is. It might be in San Bernardino.
Yeah, I mean that's. I'm trying to think of why else you would have been there. I went there one time. I feel like I went there one time for like an old Young and Reckless thing, like a shoot
never mind. Our warehouse is officially in San Bernardino County. So I've been there a lot since September.
Okay, well, bad news for you then.
Yeah.
Because you're about... So San Bernardino, sorry, for our listeners, San Bernardino is... What is it? Just straight inland? I mean, what direction is it?
Yeah, east of LA.
Okay, pretty much straight east of LA. It's it's a smaller area. There's not. I'm not trying to hate on it.
It's a huge physical area, but not a lot of people.
Yeah. Like, there's not much reason why. Like, I think I went out there one time. I think we filmed an episode where we like raced cars out there at a racetrack. Like, stuff like that. But bad news for you, Dee, because pretty soon, going to your own warehouse, you're going to be crossing state lines. San Bernardino is saying California needs to do better, and we're ready to leave. We're ready to secede from California and become our own. What would they be? They're their own state. San Bernardino, the smallest state in the world. Are they going to become a part of?
Yeah, I mean,
our neighbor. What's the plan here?
I don't know, and I don't care. Like, I think if San Bernardino wants to be its own state, fuck it. Let them be their own state. Who cares?
Maybe they have less. Maybe they have lower state tax or something, and there's somehow you can benefit.
Yeah. So, one of the big questions is like, how much do they get from all the tax benefit of California? And San Bernardino receives $1,000 in state and federal funding per resident, ranking 36th among California's 58 counties. Above Orange, Alameda, San Diego, Riverside, and Contra Costa, but below LA, Napa, Sacramento, Monterey. So, they're not the worst, but they're not the best. They think California is not doing a great job. Sure. I think we can all agree with that. Like,
do they have any specific complaints?
Pardon?
Do they have any specific grievances?
Or
just kind of not happy in general?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see anything specific. And then someone in their county said, "We just don't want the rest of California to think of us as an afterthought." That's exactly what San Bernardino is. The whole thing is an afterthought.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little tough. I mean, you're in the state with LA,
San Francisco,
San Diego, Orange County. It's a little tough.
Yeah, you're fucked. You're just not the hot girl at the dance. It's okay.
I mean, it's okay. You don't have to be.
You don't have to be.
Where are you going to go? I got to see a map of like, isn't San Bernardino still pretty tucked in our borders?
Yeah. I don't care. Like, they can leave. Go fuck off. Who cares? No one cares about San Bernardino.
No.
You know
it's
what
right
San Bernardino is good for? I'll be honest. Where our warehouse is, incredible national chains. You want an Islands. You want a PF Chang's. You want an In-N-Out.
Yeah.
You go to San Bernardino.
That's true.
San Bernardino, Del Taco, In-N-Out. That's it. That's why you go there.
Del Tacos are hot. Yeah.
There's probably like 6,000-7,000 Del Tacos in San Bernardino.
I'm wrong. They could go ahead and join up with Nevada or Arizona. They're right on the edge. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're on the border. Yeah.
I thought San Bernardino ended before the border. It's a big county.
It's a humongous county, and it's either too cold in the winter or too hot in the summer. I'm sorry. You got to go. It's fine.
Yeah, they could just make California really oddly shaped and join Arizona.
I have some other counties I'd love to get rid of. If I was governor, I'd cut the state in half.
Nevada has zero income tax. You might be able to just locate if I were you, I would just put the whole business under that warehouse address just in case this works out.
Because if it's part of Nevada, or it's like the state of San Bernardino.
Yeah. You might get some zero sales tax stuff. You don't even have to
these
move.
types of things are such a joke because nothing's going to happen. No. It's just like some dumbass city council that has no impact, no influence.
Oh man, you're gonna get a couple DMs. You better be careful at the next time you're at Del Taco leaving the warehouse. Oh shit, because you wonder what there are in San Bernardino. Some people who know how to beat ass.
I'm at that 5 p.m. Islands happy hour. Yeah. Just getting pummeled.
You're gonna
with
get
ranch.
ran up on, man. They know how to kick ass in San Bernardino. That's for sure.
Yeah. They're definitely. I'm definitely gonna. If I go to San Bernardino, look, I'm a pussy. Leave me alone.
That's good. Oh shit. Okay. Do we have a shout out or no?
No, we're all good.
Okay. All right. Great episode. So it looks like our listeners, our holiday schedule is today, Tuesday, Thursday, off on Sunday, obviously. Back Tuesday, Thursday, off on Sunday again.
Yep.
Right? Because those are both Christmas and New Year's Day. Both those next Sundays. Okay, so that is the plan. Should work. And that's our plan. So everyone enjoy your lead up to Christmas. We'll be back on Tuesday. And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.